Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Jared Brandon
everyone.
down in Nashville.
What?
What? Where did you come from?
He just said Nashville.
Oh. Are you
I'm in
here?
Nashville still.
Yes, he was locked in the basement.
Oh,
He
of the
accidentally-
Alamo?
He forgot the key.
I got out.
He forgot the key, but realized it wasn't locked from the inside. Ultimately, yes, he got out.
It's good.
Oh, you speak
Jared,
the
it's
truth.
good to hear you.
Yeah,
It's
God,
good to
it's
hear
been
you.
forever.
We miss you.
Yes, I've missed
As
everybody.
do
I'm glad I'm back on.
All the people that constantly say more Jared, and then I'm like, well, we're at 0 Jared, so
I'm here.
yes, you're back.
More shenanigans are coming up.
I
Good,
love it.
good. Like to hear that. All right, well, we have just a couple of announcements, but wait. Oh, I almost forgot we got a guest on the line here. Guess who are you?
I'm David Britton with Red River Amplification here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Excellent.
Yes.
Right, hanging
Welcome
out right over
aboard.
there by Jared.
Thank you.
Yes.
Hey, did you introduce yourself, Todd?
Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody, it's me, Todd O'Mac. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs Podcast. We're thrilled to death that you are listening to our show. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I like having extra voices, especially when it's Jared's on the line. And I can't wait to talk to David about all the things that he's building at Red River. There's a great scene. There's like lots of sub scenes. If you just say, "Oh, there's a great scene in Nashville," it's like, duh. But there's a lot of little scenes that are happening, which is kind of neat.
Yeah, well, like we were talking about last time, I was in Louisville
Yeah,
after my bourbon trail.
that's
tour.
kind of far away from where we're talking about, but
Well, no, but little scenes.
little scenes, yes,
Is that what
Little
you're talking
scenes.
about?
kind of.
Or are you talking about little scenes in
I'm
Nashville?
talking about micro scenes within the scenes. There's a great scene down there. In fact,
Yes.
as I was just about to announce,
Yes.
at Jack's Guitarcheology, there's a builder pop-up.
That's easy for you to say.
I like to say it's catchy. That's why it works. Jack's Guitarcheology. There is a builder pop-up, as I've now said twice, and that's on November 3rd, noon to 5.
What day of the week is that?
That's in Lebanon, Tennessee.
Well,
I don't know
Excuse me,
what day
that's
that
Lebanon.
is.
Lebanon.
Lebanon.
Lebanon?
Lebanon.
Yes. Anyways, so Hagtronics is going to be there.
Yeah.
Equitz Guitars is going to be there.
Yeah.
Messiah Guitars, Monkey Riot Pedals, Stringjoy, Rose Electric Audio, Dismal Axe. We've had a bunch of these people on Kroll Devices.
Yep.
And Red River Amplification.
Oh, I recognize that.
Yes. So,
Hey, just in case you're wondering,
yeah.
November 3rd
My
is a
name's Todd,
Sunday.
but that's okay. What?
November 3rd is a Sunday.
Oh, I see.
Sunday.
And Saturday too, except not this time. All right. So, anything you want to add to that, David?
It's going to be awesome. I know about 50% of the people that are going to be there, and I'm looking forward to meeting all the ones I haven't met yet. But yeah, it's a little snapshot of that micro scene here in Nashville that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Now, you and Hagtronics and Monkey Devices are all kind of, I don't want to say in cahoots, like in business cahoots, but you guys are all like,
They're legitimate businessmen.
yeah.
We have, well, in cahoots, yeah, we're relatively all new friends. We have the secret group chat, and we get dinner with each other probably once a month or so.
Right. So, like the T-Birds in Greece.
Sure.
Or the Sharks and the Jets.
No.
No?
No. We don't have anybody over 80 on the show right now. So, anyhow, so there's an announcement. Tony, you have an announcement too.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring up, it hit my news feed today that Jakey Lee was shot multiple times while he's walking his dog in Las Vegas.
It was a random shooting.
Just some weird, crazy, rando kind of thing going on. The good news is he's still in intensive care, but he's doing really well, and they expect him to recover fully. But,
Oh, my God.
keep him in your thoughts and prayers if you do that sort of thing.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's
Just walking
yeah.
the dog.
Yeah. So anyhow, on that up note,
Gee, many Christmas.
yeah. So, but yeah, it just happened to hit my feed, and
He's a tasty player, man.
oh my,
He's
yeah,
fantastic.
And you know what's cool? He reverses the angle on the neck and middle Strat pickups. They're
good.
slanted the other way.
That's good. I mean, if you're gonna play a Strat, but
Yeah, you should.
So there we go. Let's find out what's going on in our music world this week. Oh, wait a minute. Where can people go find Red River stuff?
Well, easiest way is to go to my Instagram, and you got the link tree. It'll take you to my website. But then here locally, Eastside Music Supply stocks everything.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I gotta go in there again.
East Side's good stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
good
They're
people.
Good
yeah.
dudes. Yeah. Yeah.
We had them on the show probably midsummer, early, late spring, I think.
Was it?
Yeah, I think you
I
had
was on
Blair
that
on.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fantastic. Thank you for sharing that. Now, if you have the capacity to do while you are not driving, assuming you're not driving, then
No
go
driving.
check it out. Check it out. If you're driving, just at least wait till you pull into a gas station and go get a Slurpee or whatever, All right, Tony, what's going on with you this week?
So I'm gonna vent my frustrations.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
What was your soup cold or something?
well, first of all, you're making me drink this ginger lime mule seltzer. Ugh.
It's not that bad.
It's not that good.
True.
But no, I just so obviously making product and shipping things out, I do have a lot of things that I ship on a daily basis.
Yes.
And I swear, every time I go in now, the USPS is charging more and more. And I was told today that it's because they're put their seasonal pricing in.
Oh,
So what used to be
already?
yeah. So like a flat rate envelope, for instance, last month was $9.85. It is now $10.40 today. And I'm thinking, they say that they're going to drop the rates after the holidays, but I'm thinking, you're putting this stuff in 3 months before the holidays.
Yeah.
So-
Well, they got less people working. They can't get people to actually. That's in a weird state, man. It's
Yeah.
a really weird state because sometimes you walk in and you're like, oh my goodness, you have no idea what you're doing back there, do you?
Yeah.
And then I'm lucky enough, I got one over by me. They are on the ball.
Yeah, well, that's good. You got lucky. I mean, I have a person I deal with on literally a daily basis, and she keeps me posted on things like this. But just so customers know, most of my stuff I do at like a flat shipping fee of like $12.95, and that helps cover packaging, bubble wrap, all the stuff that goes into
Yeah,
the thing.
people don't realize is like, hey, it isn't just a stamp.
Yeah, well, they think, well, can't you just put that in a regular envelope? No.
No, it'll get ruined.
Yeah. So, but anyhow, that was just my gripe for today. I got hit with a extra big shipping bill this
Man,
when I
oh man.
went to the thing.
Oof.
Yeah, and it's not just the post office. I use FedEx and UPS as well, and they're things are just going bonkers. I don't know if back in the old days they used to put like a gasoline upcharge.
When you say old days, what does that mean?
10 years ago.
That's not 10 years ago. What?
Yeah.
Back in the olden days, back when you had the Wells Fargo wagon delivering
back in the old
stuff.
days, Andy Griffith would pick me up and take me to the post office.
But the other thing that customers, one of the things I get from time to time, not always because they know that I'm not Amazon, but Amazon has trained people to expect everything to ship for free in 2 days or a day.
or less.
Yeah, or less.
I mean, now it's like, oh, you want it at 4 a.m?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. We'll wake you up so that it's on the porch.
Yes.
But yeah, so those are my gripes. But all in all,
Interesting.
I'm kind of happy.
Yeah.
I'm a happy guy
Pretty much, yeah.
for the most part. Just don't mess with my shipping charges.
I guess so.
and that really has nothing to do with Music World this week, so I'm sorry.
It doesn't. David, save us here. How about yourself? What's going on in your music world?
Oh wow. Lots of repairs right now. So my I run a repair shop here in Nashville, repairing amplifiers and hi-fi and any kind of other music, electronics related stuff. It's especially been pretty busy, been pretty covered up, and trying to balance that with day job and life and everything else, and building pedals. Got working on a run of hexafoils and looking forward to those, getting out here pretty soon.
Yeah.
But then I don't play out a whole lot, like at all any longer. It happens as y'all know, I'm sure you get older, you get kids and that kind of thing. But for several years I've been saying, like, for my New Year's resolution, I'm gonna start playing out again this year. So my kids are older teens now, so they need me maybe a little less than usual. And so maybe I'm hoping to move towards that. But in that vein, I picked up a Danelectro baritone.
Oh, nice.
Recently. Cool. Yeah. It was one of the fairly inexpensive, but I mean, played great, coming right out of the store. And that has been a super inspirational instrument to play. When you get like the right piece of gear in your hands, and and all of a sudden everything just kind of starts happening,
Yeah.
And so that's definitely that for me right now. So I'm loving playing that, and even playing like the same cowboy chord progressions that you played a million times on guitar. You play them on a baritone, you're like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. The flip side of that, though, is when you pick up your regular guitar, it feels like you're playing a ukulele afterward.
Yeah.
So that's been a lot of fun.
What color is it?
It is, I guess, kind of like a off-white cream. I don't know what their color name is, but it's got the little the not F hole. It's an F hole, but it doesn't look like an F. I don't know what you call it. It's semi-hollow. I guess all Danelectros are, though.
That just made me think. Wouldn't somebody be clever if they just did the shape in the shape of letters that just said butt?
Weird.
Like
I'd buy it.
Cursive, it just said butt, because then it'd be the butthole. I think that's. Oh man, I want to see that guitar.
I think you used up all your creativity at work.
How that would be fantastic.
I know what I'm going to bring up tomorrow.
Yeah. Maybe Gibson could do something like that.
Yeah. Oh boy, that would be too funny. I might have to just get a piece of like a junker, like some kind of old thing, and do that, because that would just be too great.
That'd be hilarious.
Okay. Jared, about yourself.
So I sold a ton of gear, and if you listen to tons of podcasts in the past with me on it, I always talk about, I got a new vintage this, I got a new vintage that, I got this and that and this and that. I actually offloaded a lot of gear.
Yeah, and you didn't
and
tell
now that
me.
I'm down.
Whatever.
Yes. So I think that's helped me as far as my playing creativity, because I'm not fumbling around with trying to find the right thing or wanting to know what I'm going to use for this or that. I just feel more.
You had option paralysis in that room.
Yeah, and now it's more of a practical thing, and I have my old HT60 Blackstar that I just use that for about every recording for, a good overdrive sound. It's got a good and then you put another. I don't even have the Klon anymore. I sold that.
I know. The finances Super B or whatever. What'd you get?
Oh, the Hellcat. Yeah, I did get a Hellcat. Yeah, I wasn't going to mention that, but you said it. So, yeah, I did get a Hellcat.
Yeah.
But as far as having all the equipment and stuff, it's really nice having more room.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, well, you need it.
So it's not a bad thing. It's really not. And I still have a wall full of guitars, and I'll always have those.
Yeah.
So because so many of them mean a lot.
Yeah.
So and by the way, I just used the strap that you got.
Oh, nice.
You got it a while back. So
good. It's extra long.
It is. It's a really good strap. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was the Mother Mary straps. We did several custom ones with
They're beautiful.
my grandpa's sold brocade that he got from overseas in World War II.
I like a nice
Nice.
brocade.
Yes, it's cool.
Nice.
What
about you, old buddy?
Well,
Hey, Todd, what about you?
Yeah. I was treated to a great box that came in the mail. Yeah, is pretty neato. Our good friend Bruce Bacon.
I'm hungry.
Yes, he sent a couple of pedals my way just for funsies, and I was like, oh my goodness, look, there's all these things. He sent a Montreal 2 positive, which is apparently like the hotcakes pedal from New Zealand. But it's got 2 drives on it that I don't think you can do them both at the same time, but you can switch. So like if you switch on one, it just automatically turns the other one off, stuff like that. And then he sent the an old MXR Distortion 2 with the actual cord attached.
The attached cord.
Yeah,
Like they used to make them.
and
Old school.
sent a Supro Drive and a Vic Audio Violet Ram's Head and a Coldcraft dual band modulator and a Red Witch Moon Phaser.
That's a lot of pedals.
Yeah. So that kept me a little bit busy. And it was kind of neat.
How noisy was the old MXR?
Oh boy.
You know why they're noisy?
Uh,
Because they put the transformer inside the box. And when you have the attached cord like that, that makes them noisy.
yeah, it was super noisy.
Yep. That's
Yeah,
why
it made me kind of think like, how the heck did anybody use this?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of them, there were the old Ross distortions and
Yeah.
things. A lot of those had,
It was really
mounted
harsh.
plugs.
Really harsh.
Yeah. Well,
But I guess it depends on what kind of amp you're putting it through and yabba yabba all that stuff.
yeah. I mean,
Those often need to have their power supply recapped, and that'll bring that noise floor down a lot. And you can actually drill out the rivets on that transformer and you rotate it slightly, and it'll really cancel out a lot more of that hum.
How about that, Bruce Bacon? Go home and I'll send that back to you and you can do that.
well, or why don't you just drill out the transformer
I'll
for
just
'em?
I'll just do it. Yeah. So you're saying put a hole right in the middle and then turn it?
No, they're attached. You got to take those out, and then you can rotate it.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, so that was really cool. I really appreciate it. Bruce, that was very kind of you, and I'm gonna send him some pedals. I've been doing that with a couple people.
That's nice.
And actually, on our Patreon, we have a couple of discussion channels. One of which is pedal trade. Like, so the patrons can connect with each other and say, "Hey, I got this, that. You guys want to check this out?" And because it's fun to do that. Whenever you have like a guitar bro Tato Chip come over and you're talking, it's like, oh man, you got to hear this thing. Like every time my buddy Hex comes in, he walks out
that's
with
right.
a box full of pedals.
Yep.
And and the last two, he's like, dude, I can't give this back to you. I'm like, all right, we'll work something out. Anyways, so that is been keeping me busy.
that's
a
cool.
lot of things keeping me busy.
That was really nice of Bruce to do that.
Yeah, super nice, super nice. So
You know what would be nice for Bruce to do?
what?
Give us some more would you rathers.
Yes, do that. The best. It was so easy to test these out because I had a whole bunch of extra Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
What?
Standing by just for this occasion. I actually need to get more. So yes,
You know
I've
what
got
you-
like 3 boards going right now.
You know what you could do?
I could put in the coupon code.
No, you got to go to the website first.
After I
then
go to
you
the
load
website.
up the cart
I
with
gotta go to-
all the sizes, the S shape, then the C shape,
Everything.
and
Just
the
get everything.
little teeny tiny end cable thingies, and and the flat like a crepe cords,
Right.
And
That's right.
you fill that cart up.
You'll end up using them all. That's what I did. I bought a ton of them just to get the savings, and then I ended up using them all. Just get them all.
Yeah. And so when you get to that checkout, you can put in, it says coupon code. You know what you're going to put in?
The guitar knobs, all one word.
and you're going to save
guitar knobs.
15%
That is
on top of already.
correct. They're treating you
great
guys well, so
prices.
take advantage of that, okay? We want to say a huge thank you to Tour Gear for sponsoring our Four on the Floor. Tony,
No, Jared.
Jared,
Let me get a little bit of this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 4 on the floor.
all right, David Britton from Red River Amplification. What is your Four on the Floor?
All right. So, number one, it's going to be the Monkey Riot pedals, backseat driver. Now, I'm not just saying this to promote a homie, but this is legit one of my favorite pedals right now. So when he first released these a few months ago, he had me spending some time with it and giving him some critiques, and that's kind of what we try to do with each other, is pass off the pedals to each other and get critiques and
Sure.
implement stuff. And this one I just absolutely fell in love with.
So did Tony.
Yep.
Oh, awesome! It does the I tend to live in the low drive world. As many fuzz pedals as I build, I tend to like staying in the lower drive area, and this one does.
So you're just
that.
trying to ruin other people's lives.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm just trying to find out where our base is. Okay.
And for those who are interested, Monkey Riot Pedals was episode number 382.
That is
So
correct.
not terribly long
Yeah.
ago.
Yeah.
So I think if I remember right, he told me this is like the electro distortion and also I think it's like a Dynacomp compressor, kind of all in one.
Mm-hmm.
And man, like it makes it's like instant Vox AC30 with the jangle switch up. I absolutely love it with a set of single coils or P90s. And mine's cool. The ones he releases got graphics, but mine is just a polished aluminum enclosure with like the embossed label maker labels on it.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
So absolutely love it. And so yeah, it's it cleans up with your volume knob. You can get some aggressive sounds out of it. But man, it is an absolutely fantastic pedal. I don't think people give enough attention to pedals that cover a wide base. They're not necessarily like a certain fuzz pedal that's only going to do a handful of sounds, right?
It's kind of intimidating looking, if I'm being perfectly honest, because it's a larger box, and it's got like sort of super, not quite psychedelic graphics on it, but it's getting there.
Yeah.
And then there's a big thing in the middle that says sustain, and you're like, oh, what do I do with this?
and like what's so cool about it is like it when you crank up the sustain, I mean, obviously that's the compressor function on it, but I mean, again, it makes it sound like you're using a set of EL84s the higher you crank that. And so I adore it. So I'm using that a lot right now.
Cool.
Yeah.
How about number two?
Number two will be another local homie. So that is Hagtronics, Paul Haggard's Season of the Witch Fuzz Chorus. I keep telling him that it is like a My Bloody Valentine in a box.
Oh, yeah.
It's so great. It's so great. I don't know what fuzz circuit he uses in it. And honestly, to some degree, I kind of like not knowing what other people are implementing because it kind of helps retain some magic, for me that way. So I don't know what fuzz circuit he's using or even what chorus circuit he's using, but I know that I love it. And the graphics are super cool. The name is super cool. I think that's a collaboration with a friend's band of his. But it always makes me think of Halloween 3. But anyway, so the colors are cool. The sound's great. I don't know. Well, there's not a lot else to say about that one other than it's living on my board right now. So
Very cool. Yeah, it's a really neat looking pedal. It's a fun one. You get that and you're like, I don't know what this is going to do, but I'm going to have fun doing it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And like, you can use the fuzz by itself or you can use the chorus by itself.
Yeah.
And it's a good sounding chorus. And I'm not a huge chorus user. And I also don't like anticipate building any choruses anytime soon. And so it's kind of filling that small chorus need that I have. But yeah, you makes you feel like you're in My Bloody Valentine or Catherine Wheel or something, some other shoegaze band,
Yeah.
But yeah.
I think he's using the Behringer fuzz, but he just turned the transformer a little bit.
Oh, okay.
There it is.
I hear that's the thing to do.
Yeah, all the
Always
kids,
brings it back around.
all the kids are doing it.
It won't be the last time. I'll find another way to work that in today. All right. How about number 3?
All right. So number 3 is actually the very first distortion pedal I purchased with my own money.
Oh,
Nice.
In, I don't know, circa 1995 or something like that. And it is an Ibanez PL5 Power Lead distortion,
Huh.
part of their Sound Tank series.
Oh, the sound
Okay,
tanks.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. So, I mean, let's get this on the table. The Sound Tanks are garbage as far as construction. You know, they're plastic. The switches don't work half the time. You know, you're lucky if they work half the time. But their designers, I would love to know who they were. We're onto something really cool, and it's not something that has been done a lot in some pedals. It certainly has been done. So most of them, if you recall, there's a whole series of drive pedals they did, ranging from their TS5 Tube Screamer up to things like their classic metal and thrash metal and black metal, and it's like maybe a black noise and a punk. I forget what the names of them are. Some of them are kind of kitschy names, but they're all varieties of hard clippers. So kind of roughly kind of like the Rat circuit.
yeah.
But with boosters on the front end or extra buffers in different places. But the thing that they're doing that's really, really cool is they're using these things called gyrators. So it's a kind of an artificial inductor. So you're synthesizing the qualities of an inductor with a transistor, or in some cases an op amp. And so it's the
Boy,
equivalent
speak
of, say,
English.
it's the equivalent of having a Rat and then placing a graphic EQ after it.
Got
and
it.
adjusting that graphic EQ, but having those filters built into the pedal. And so like on this Power Lead, the tone is not a tone control traditionally. It's actually adding or subtracting like this massive, I think it's like 100 hertz, probably around 18 dBs worth of boost on it or cut. And so it does the chug thing right really, really well. Not that I'm into that, but it also does really good sounds too. They get a lot of flack, at least over the last 25, 30 years, they've gotten a lot of flack just because they kind of do too much of that in some cases. It can sound flubby. But I think that if the right person took those circuits and tweaked them a little further, they could be something really, really cool. Maybe hint about stuff in the future. But,
Yes.
yeah. So, but these are super cool pedals. So I highly encourage you to pick one up because you can get them for cheap. Like I just went out and bought another one at Nashville Used Music for like $40.
Yes. Unless you're looking for the EM5, the Echo machine.
Yes, the
that's
Echo
like
machine. Yeah, good
$500.
Good luck finding that one.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nuts. There's one on here for $562 just to
And
up
91
that
cents.
price, and 91 cents. Yeah, how did they get to that? That's bizarre. On the low end, there's one for $220 that looks like it's been in under somebody's bed for about 20 years. All right, how about number 5?
How about number 4?
4. Yeah. Why did I say 5? Maybe I'm looking at EM5. That's why.
Yes.
So number 4 is honestly just going to be a volume pedal. Nothing fancy. I used, I don't even know what model it is, but the big like aluminum Ernie Ball
Yeah.
thing. It's been around forever and a day. Love it. And the reason I love a volume pedal is because I always play with a fuzz face type circuit first in my chain.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's a good sounding fuzz face, if it's well tuned, you can get some absolutely incredible tones just by varying your with your guitar knob, right? But sometimes I don't want to mess with the guitar knob. I want to do it with my foot,
Right.
And so yeah, I mean you can go from rhythm to clean to lead tones all with that, and so yeah, volume pedal is going to be my number 4.
All right.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, I think probably the next, if I do another like sort of jalopy kind of guitar, I'm literally going to just put an up and down switch. I'm not even going to do a pot.
Like an
I'm
on-off
just going
switch.
to hardwire it right
Yeah.
to the wall. I don't need no volume.
Make sure
It's
you
just
turn
on.
just make sure you turn the transformer.
It's just on. No, it only I can.
Only you're allowed to do that. Sorry, sorry, Todd. Didn't mean to step on your toes there.
There's a tariff on that.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So let's see here.
How about number 5?
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Oops.
Well, David, we got a beautiful little pedal sitting here in front of us, and we're also now trying to unravel how you came to the conclusion of making this based on what you're about. But let's maybe get a little bit more backstory so that we have some better understanding as to the thing that is in front of us.
Sure.
You mentioned one of the things that you're doing is doing repairs, and you said you got a day job and you're building pedals. Enlighten us on what that landscape all looks like and how it works together.
Oh, I'm still trying to figure a lot of that out. No, so I've been doing repair work here in Nashville for the last 10 years. Broader Middle Tennessee for the last 15 or so. Originally from just a little north of Nashville, and so yeah, I started off 10 years ago in repair work at Eastside Music Supply when they first opened. I was their first in-house amp tech, and was able to kind of cut my Nashville teeth with them.
Nice.
And they've become lifelong friends and family at this point to me. And from there, I worked with a guy named John Capito here in Nashville, who has Magnetic Flux Music and Black Tape amplifiers. Fantastic builder. I mean, the guy's he's a freaking genius. He really is. And
With Black Tape amps?
Yep, Black Tape amps. Yep.
I'm not familiar with that. I know.
yeah, check them.
I gotta go look it up while you're talking.
Yeah. And so, I worked with him for several years, and then my day job took a little turn, and so I had to take a step back from doing it as often as I was doing. And then so slowly over the last couple of years, I've started doing it again and started again out of my house. And then it just got too big to control. And I've just recently picked up a space attached to a studio here in East Nashville called True Romance Sound.
Oh.
And some good friends operate that, and they offered me a space attached to that. And so I'm repairing. Around me right now, I've got a Red 47 Mic Pre. I've got 3 Pioneer receivers. I've got a Mesa Boogie Mark IV. What was me? And Ampeg Reverber Rocket 2s. I mean, all kinds of stuff, right? And so that's the repair world, and I usually do that at night as I can, and on the
So that's
weekends.
your side gig.
Yeah, yep, side gig. Yeah.
Okay. Now I got lost. What's your day job?
Okay, so I am a state park ranger.
Oh,
That's cool.
Nice.
wow.
Yeah.
All right. So
So
you get to wear
that
the
keeps me
hat.
pretty busy. Oh yeah. Get the Smokey the Bear hat.
That's
I
cool.
like that. What state park? Can we ask that?
Sure, yeah. And the disclaimer is I'm not using my official government position for personal gain.
Yeah, of course not.
Answering the question.
Yes.
But I am a park manager for Dunbar Cave State Park in Clarksville, Tennessee, and for Port Royal State Historic Park in Adams, Tennessee.
Nice.
Super cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, now here's a burning question. And this is a legit burning question that I've always had. In the summertime, you don't see forest rangers really walking around with shorts so much. They're still doing the pants, at least around where we live.
Yeah.
And as far as I know it, all of service uniforms are still polyester.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well,
Are yours cotton? How do you do this?
so I wear pants, but they're not the polyester stuff. There's some other blend of material. But I'll say shorts look dumb on the uniform. There's I've got
Like
That's
a
like in the
giant Boy
movies,
Scout.
right? That's in the movies.
I've got some friends that wear them, but
Oh wow.
yeah, but yeah, no, I don't do that.
Send
But
me
also,
pics.
you're around stuff like poison ivy and everything else. You don't want to get your legs tore
Yeah.
up. So
Yes, stinging nettles.
yeah. Oh yeah, stinging nettles will tear you up, man. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
what is the thing that you didn't realize when you were going into this that was you're going to raise your temperature every single time
going into
being a park ranger?
oh god, working with the public.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about nature related?
Raise my temperature. Define that.
Well, is it the thing where you get? I know I just forgot the name of it, but it's the thing that crawls around your that'll get up in you. And,
A leech?
Yeah, no, crawl around on your undies belt, and then you get like a bite. What are those things called? Chiggers.
Oh, okay.
Chiggers. Those are everywhere here.
Oh
man.
yeah. They're terrible. They're
Yeah.
Even
absolutely
outside of the forest. Yeah.
terrible. Yeah. I mean,
You gotta see. I'd look like a paratrooper because there's no way I'd have my open pants just walking around the park all day. No way. Couldn't
no, I
do
mean,
it.
yeah. It's when you're going in
Ticks,
the woods, you just tuck your pants in your
chiggers,
socks and
Everything.
roll with it. So,
I'd wear waders. That's what I would do.
You could get one of those space suits, maybe.
I like that too.
I had a tick in my back down here for like a week before I realized it
What?
was a tick. Yeah.
You just
They can hide, man.
It was a Lone Star tick, so
Oh, yeah.
that's the one that does not have Lyme disease,
Oh,
but they're
that's
very aggressive. And I think the head is still stuck in my skin because there's still
Oh
like
my
a red mark
gosh.
there. I know. I don't care. I don't see it, so out of
so it
sight,
doesn't
out of
matter,
mind.
right?
Oh my!
It doesn't matter. No, I had the doctor try to dig it out, but I don't
my
know if it's still
gosh.
in there. Or not.
Yeek.
But yeah, that's
Gnarly.
so we just get bug spray all the time here, or bug the pest control.
Just
I
wear
get
a
it all
tick
over the
collar,
lawn
Jared.
Yeah, that's
around
good. Jared,
the
tick
the
collar.
house because we live around brush and woods and stuff. So
Well, of course.
Yeah.
So, David, do you know Brian from Spruce Effects?
I do not.
So his thing, he loves national parks.
Yeah,
And-
just
and-
listen to y'all's episode on that.
Yeah, so he's probably a guy you should reach out to.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. That
think-
would,
Have one of
there'd
his
probably
pedals,
be
they're
some
great.
cool collaboration thing
yeah, great
of some
pedals.
sort.
Yeah.
So okay, I appreciate you trying to answer that because it's always I've never understood that. I'm like, it can get hot. It can get hot. I don't
Cotton is the way to go.
Cotton's the way to go.
Yep.
Okay. Anyways, so electronically, how did you find your way into first electronics and then into pedals?
Sure. So yeah, I probably started building pedals in the late '90s when I was in high school and frequenting the internet forums, which were just a couple of chat rooms at that time. And
What was the catalyst? What made you do it?
let's see, I'd already started playing guitar, like 11, 12 years old or whatever. And somehow I got a hold of this old busted Fox Fuzz Wah volume.
Oh man.
And it had somebody had hardwired an AC adapter into it, and it did not work. And it wasn't even the Fox brand; it was one that they made for probably Montgomery Wards or something like that. So it didn't have the cool flocked outside. It was just like this massive cast aluminum, weapon. And so I was super interested in it. I was becoming interested in electronics anyway, and had tried installing LEDs and stuff in my Star Trek model kits and that kind of thing.
Wow.
And so my dad and my grandfather would find just busted electronic stuff from their respective workplaces and bring it to me. And so my first foray into it was sitting at the dinner table, probably at 15 or 16, and didn't know a single thing about electronics other than what I was learning from my Radio Shack cookbooks, and just trying to match the color codes of the resistors from a giant board that came out of this old TV. and desoldering them and putting them in a piece of perf board, not knowing anything about resistor orientation or transistor orientation or anything like that, or polarities, and so built what I thought was going to be a clone of this thing, and it of course did not work, but it made all kinds of crazy oscillations, which was kind of interesting in and of itself. And I was kind of hooked from that point forward. So I built mostly fuzz pedals and stuff, for friends and the late 90s, early 2000s. And then wound up working at, was talking with Jared before this all, before we started recording, started working at Gibson Guitar.
Oh.
And worked there for a handful of years in final assembly, and kind of weaseled my way into engineering before I left there. And so, and of course, like, it's not like intense. What I was doing was not intense engineering or anything like that, mostly manufacturing stuff. And of course, working at Gibson was
Did you come up with the one of their gizmos that they made, or like did you make the keychain holder?
No.
Okay.
The only things I worked on never went to production. I think the only thing I worked on that was of any consequence was a little tone generator to test pickups in final assembly instead of whacking on them with a screwdriver. And but I think everybody hated them because they were annoying sounding. Just
Send me the drawings for that.
Okay.
Jared wants to annoy some people.
It was a constant QC issue, getting little dinks on the pickup covers, and so anyway, so did that for a few years, and about around that time I was learning amp repair, and so fast forward 20 years,
cool.
Here I am doing this.
Nice.
And in the past couple of years, I started doing the more, let's say, concerted effort toward building pedals. And a lot of that initially kind of came from like the space consideration, right? So like building amplifiers has a pretty high overhead as well as space to keep it, right?
Yeah.
So like if you build even like 5 112 combos, there goes your spare room in your house. But you can build, 25 pedals at a workbench. So it kind of started in that way, kind of reinvesting myself in pedals and building pedals, and getting back into that world. And then, named it Red River Amplification after the Red River Valley, which is just north of Nashville, kind of runs from Robertson County, Montgomery County, and part of Kentucky. So that's where I'm from, and named it after that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good song too. So you are building all these pedals now. You've got 2, 4, 6, it's about, 6 pedals.
There's a few of them. There's only a couple I'm really making in any kind of concerted effort, but yeah.
Okay. And most of them are pretty loud noisemakers.
They are, yeah.
Yes, but you yourself are not a loud noisemaker. Like what do you listen to?
Well, so, I love all kinds of post-punk stuff. So I'm listening to plenty of Dinosaur Jr. and the Pixies, and that whole world,
right?
But then, as far, even with modern stuff, I'm listening a lot to MJ Linderman right now. Was going to see him and see his show here in town last week, but they canceled that, unfortunately, because he and his family all live there in Western North Carolina.
Oh boy, yeah.
No.
And so they had to delay a lot of their start because I think they had several family members affected by the hurricane. But I'll get to see him again in January, I think, is when they're changing the show date too. But listen a lot to him, which is very much in the Americana realm. And that's kind of what I've played, in the last 20 years has been mostly that kind of stuff, But I like the how fuzz crosses over into that. I kind of first became attuned to using a fuzz face in the alt country and Americana world through the Jayhawks.
Oh yeah.
Gary Loris plays a fuzz face. And of course, he uses Tube Screamer or like the Full Drive or whatever else. But off of their Tomorrow the Green Grass album, Miss Williams' guitar, I think, is like the best recorded fuzz face tone ever. Like, I'll take that over Band of Gypsies any day. And I love Band of Gypsies, don't get me wrong. But yeah, so I mean, I love using fuzz. I love what fuzz provides as far as like the texture and the palette. I'm not really a Velcro-y fuzz person, like the misbiased stuff. But I love a smooth, round, woolly fuzz.
Yeah.
Especially one that can clean up with your guitar volume, where you can get all kinds of really good like tweed Fender style tones out of it. Yeah.
It's the loud, quiet, loud thing.
Yeah.
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 So you do that. Now, in most cases, what we get is I wanted some pedals. I couldn't afford to buy the pedals, so I started to make the pedals that I want to play. In your case, you're like, is that the case, or is it? I mean,
yeah. I mean that I would say for myself that was. I mean, y'all remember. I mean, like pedals were not near as prolific or affordable as they are today.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I want to say they're not all affordable, but like you couldn't go on Amazon and buy an overdrive pedal for $40 like you can today.
Yeah.
And I remember when I bought my first Tube Screamer, that was a significant chunk of change because even in like the late 90s, it was $120 or something.
Yeah.
And I think even this little Power Lead was probably pushing $100 at that time. So yeah, I mean, part of it is that, but it definitely affected why I started repairing amps, but I've just always had a love for electronics and how they work, and it really excites me when I put together a circuit and it works, the first time, or when I, it's almost like you're controlling a little bit of Mother Nature, and it's pretty exciting.
That's cool. I can dig that. Now, maybe the most accessible one, arguably, is probably the Bone Tender.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. The Bone Tender is in case you didn't guess, a take on a Tone Bender.
Yes.
We
actually had this discussion on. I honestly I was not aware that this was a pedal, but I can't remember who we were talking about. And I said on accident, I said Bone Tender. I'm like, holy crap, that's a great name. Somebody needs to make that pedal.
There we go.
And then we're like, oh my gosh, and behold,
here we go. Yeah. No, it's a cool pedal, man. It's based on a Tone Bender Mark II, which is my preferred Tone Bender style circuit, and it with several variations, you can never say, oh, this is my circuit, but it's my recipe, right? To makes it mine.
Yeah.
And
it's your chili.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And but the graphic is actually the thing that I'm probably the most proud of with that pedal.
It's great.
There's this antique store near here in a little town called Goodlettsville, and I was in there one day, and they had this. This might offend somebody, I don't know, but it was a statue of the Virgin Mary holding baby Jesus, and somebody had hacked their heads off and glued skulls on it.
Oh my.
And like I was like enamored with it, and I was like, oh, I should buy it.
That was me. That was not.
I wanted to buy it, and I don't know why I didn't, but I don't know if we had to go somewhere, and like I convinced myself to buy it that night. I had taken a picture of it in the meantime, and went back the next day, and it was gone.
Oh no, that isn't that the worst.
It still drives me crazy. But I had the picture, and so through the help of Illustrator, that became the graphic for the Bone Tender. So I called the individual on that the Bone Tender.
Yeah, that's cool, and you got some cool colorways. It's magenta. Actually, you just need a black one for a full CMYK there.
You were right. Well, so those four colors are, I'm going to reveal a little bit of my other nerddom, which is comic books. And that is inspiration. It's inspiration from Legends of the Dark Knight #1, and it's variant covers from 1989, I think.
Okay. There's I just heard one person go, "Ooh." Yeah. I believe somewhere, maybe Yuma, Arizona. That's where that happened.
Ooh,
I'm really
Yuma.
sure. Yes, I'm
So
pretty sure.
specific.
Might have
I've got
been
good ears.
might have been one of our Canadian listers.
It could be. Yeah.
They said sorry.
Yeah. So, well, that's an interesting little tidbit. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Love it.
it's interesting because we actually at my work in my line we recently had to create a bunch of characters for this public health service thing that we do in this local county here, and I said, you know what, we need to get them to make a comic book out of this, and they're like, that sounds awesome, let's do it. So we did a comic book based on these characters and how it's, the health and all that stuff, and it's like it's full on action. It's really cool, and then it came down to all the colors. And fortunately, on my team are a handful of super duper comic book nerds, and they're like, "Get out of the way, we got this." Yeah. So I recognize those main colors there. Those are the staples.
That's right.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah. Tony, you look like you're mouthing words. You're starting to talk. What's going on?
Well, no, I was just I just opened up the back of the hexafoil.
Yes, let's talk about the hexafoil.
That one's really cool, and I can tell you're an
What's
amp
a
guy.
hexafoil?
Okay, so what is a hexafoil? So a hexafoil is that symbol that's on the front of the pedal,
Yes.
sometimes called a daisy wheel. And to throw out a $5 word for you here, it's called an apotropaic mark. And that is essentially an anti-witchcraft symbol. And so people from in some cases all over the world, but specifically this symbol is Western Europe, Scots Irish, and then into the U.S. specifically, really in the 17th and 18th centuries, were using these symbols to ward off evil, witchcraft, ghosts, whatever else. And they would put them on like openings that led into their home. So like, a fireplace or over a window or a door, things like that. So that particular symbol is actually taken from, I took a photo of one that is on a mantle of a 1799 home here in the Red River Valley, north of Nashville.
Well, that's really
So there you
cool.
go. Yeah.
That's really cool. Well, I was going to say I could tell you're an amp guy by the heavy duty ground bus that's sits at the top between the two jacks. That's a really cool feature.
Yeah, so I'm not doing that on all of them, but I do that on most of my pedals, definitely all the hexafoils. And you service stuff long enough, what's the one thing that breaks the most on a pedal? It's going to be the foot switch, or it's going to be the jacks that start to spin and it rips a wire on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
So that way, even if the nut gets loose, the jack's not going to spin.
Yep. That's really cool. Yeah, that's nice. And it's, relatively, the board in there is pretty small.
It's small, yeah.
But this does a number of interesting things.
Yes.
I will I will go on the record as saying the destroy mode was not my favorite one of those things that it does.
It's the destroy mode is really you have to learn to play it.
Yeah.
And it changes a lot according to the kind of pickup that you're using and then how you've rolled off the volume. So it'll actually do a really good job at a sub-octave by backing off either the drive or the distress or harmonics or distress about 50%, and then you're picking lightly with a very light pick attack on your neck pickup, and kind of work on varying those controls to the right on the edge of oscillation, and it'll do some pretty cool stuff with that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a fun thing to play with. The names of the knobs.
Tony is not a.
I am not a fuzz guy.
An affusionado.
Sure.
That I just new term, affusionado.
Fuzzinado.
Yeah.
But I will say, here's a couple other things that I noticed. I liked. I wasn't a fan of the germanium section. You have a clip switch there where up
Right.
is silicon, center is none, and down is germanium.
Right.
And I think that in the germanium side, I noticed a lot of volume drop. Is that
Right.
typical, or
Yes.
it's just because of the?
So that has to do with the forward voltage of germanium diodes. So they, at the point at which they conduct, and so you're looking at around a third of a volt, give or take, a little bit. Whereas silicon's going to be closer to like 0.7, and then whereas the no clipping is going to remove the clipping diodes from the circuit, and you're going to get the full output voltage swing from that top transistor.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that
so-
does confuse a
yeah.
lot of people when they're starting to get into different fuzzes, especially if they're switchable, because that's when you really notice the difference.
It is, yeah. I mean,
it's
for instance,
usually a
like if you took an MXR distortion plus and you lifted those diodes, it's going to have this huge output increase because those diodes are clamping it down.
Right.
interesting.
Todd, what
Release the diodes.
the Kraken?
Well,
Yeah.
and my favorite setting on that is the no clipping setting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually, where I have pedals that have all kinds of clipping options and stuff, I tend to just do no clipping as a majority of those.
Yeah.
I like to kind of I want it to do the thing it does without
Right.
getting in the way. But those options can be nice for obviously much different tones.
Sure. Yeah, and I mean in this case, the circuit is based on the harmonic percolator. And the original harmonic percolator uses germanium diodes as a hard clipper. And so that's what that replicates. It's just whatever, the OG harmonic percolator sound, which admittedly is an acquired taste.
Yes.
It's definitely one of those pedals. Actually, I'll tell you this story. So I was over at Eastside Music Supply dropping off more hexafoils. I actually sell more of them through Eastside than anywhere else. And one of the employees there, Zan, told me that this kid came in one day and he saw the hexafoil sitting on the shelf. And he was like, "Do you guys know this guy? The guy who builds this?" And they're like, "Yeah, he's a friend of ours." He goes, "Man, I hate this pedal." It's like, okay, awesome.
That's better than going meh,
Right, yeah. I was like, well, I'm glad I stoked those emotions in him. So,
Indifference is a killer,
right. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. But no, so my favorite setting is the no clipping setting, and I run the harmonics control, the drive, at 50%. And then I'll back off the distress control just till I remove the amount of body that I want removed, from it, and then output to taste, and then at that point is extremely responsive to your playing dynamics. I love it at that setting.
Well, let's talk about these controls because unless for the average bear, it's a little park ranger joke for you.
Nice.
Picnic basket.
That these don't. You have to go like, wait, what?
Yeah.
So, take it away, George. Harmonics.
Well, it's the drive control. The reason it is named that is because that's what that drive control is named on harmonic percolator on the original pedal.
Okay.
Yep. The second control, the distress control, on the non-destroy mode, it basically acts like a second drive control. So, and it literally is, you're varying feedback on one of the transistor stages, and so but it does most in the destroy mode. Thus, I named it distress.
Right.
Right. Okay. And then
So,
the last one.
harmonics and distress are very interactive.
Yes, incredibly. Yeah, absolutely interactive. They are the. What's a good way? It'd be like almost like having an amp that has power scaling and having a pre and having a master, but still
Okay.
having the power scaling available. And so, you can get a lot of variety of tones between the two. The blend control, you'll never guess.
Well,
Why
I
I
bet
named
it
that.
doesn't blend.
It doesn't. So it was
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay, so I have a tendency to work on this stuff, at like 12 o'clock at night and 1 o'clock in the morning, so I'm sitting there watching X-Files reruns or in the background and, working on Illustrator or, KiCad or whatever. And
you're getting massive nerd street cred right now, man. Just keep it going.
He's one of us.
So when I sent off the production file to have that made, Scott Hughes, Obscura over in North Carolina, makes those enclosures for me. And I got them back and I was like, it says blend. So what the heck? And I looked at my file and it said blend. I don't recall ever typing blend, but I did, and I'm rolling with it now. So,
now were you thinking that because the name, the harmonic percolator, always the first thing you think of is like coffee.
I love coffee.
Sure.
Was it sort of a late night fever dream? Where you're like, this is like coffee. It's like you get your own blend of coffee. Blend.
It could have been. I mean, I usually drink like an entire French press of coffee while I'm doing this work.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah. Hey, quick coffee note. I did a French press for a long time. I want to turn you on to something that if you're not familiar.
You want a Polish press?
No. A Polish press is, you got to pull real hard.
That smells like a great hot dog.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what it does later. I tell everybody that it doesn't even ask me. If you like a French press, I highly recommend a Bialetti mocha cafe.
That's on which one the wish list. I know exactly what that is.
I'm gonna actually send you in Instagram. I took a picture of mine because it has the best burst I've ever seen.
Oh
yeah, it looks like a junior. It's amazing.
I love it.
Yeah. Anyways, okay, coffee. Blep. Yes, yay. So, all right.
So blend is volume.
Blend is volume.
Yeah, blend is volume.
Okay, got that.
I might change it one day, but I was like, you know what? It gets the people talking. So let's do it.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I mean, once you play with it, you figure out pretty quickly what that does.
Yeah.
Now you got a couple others that are, I think probably you got a nice fuzz face here. What did you do? I'm assuming you did something a little different on this.
Are you talking about the Memento Mori?
I'm talking about it just says the MK1 Fuzz Style Blue.
Okay, yeah. Okay, that one uses these super low gain silicon transistors. I'm not a diehard advocate of germanium transistors. I mean, they do a thing, right? And they do their thing well, but also think that well-designed silicon can do the same. It just takes you having to design it. So in this case, I'm using silicon transistors, but they're these really awesome. I think they're like from 63 or 4, 1963 or 4. And they're blue, and they're very low gain. So, just for those who don't know, most fuzz faces, you want a transistor to have something closer to 100. And the different numbers matter for the different positions. But with these, I use very, very low gain. And so it doesn't do like the all-out woolly, crazy fuzz face thing. Mm-hmm. It kind of stops shy of that, and it kind of stays at the overdriven Tweed Deluxe world. Mm-hmm. And so and it does a great job of that. And so
even when you have a fuzz face that does get woolly, I mean, you don't get there until you're almost at the end. Yeah, it's like there's this weird hey, it's not doing it, and then all of a sudden it goes bank, and you're like,
yeah. So so it's kind of it's a different flavor, and
do you moderate the volume on those? Because fuzz faces tend to not.
They don't have enough. Yeah. So I always I alter the circuit to have substantially more volume.
Good lad.
Yeah. Unity on those is typically around noon.
Yeah.
So you should have plenty of room to move.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And let's see, you got a couple others here. You mentioned the Memento Mori. Tell us about that.
So that one, I'm actually sold out of all of those now, and I'll be changing enclosures on those here in the near future. But they are that's a fuzz face that uses higher gains transistors, but it uses a couple different filters in order to either increase or decrease the top end, and same thing for the low end, which are the things that can either make a fuzz pedal very usable or unusable really quick.
Right. Right.
So yeah, just to add some versatility to that circuit. Yeah.
Cool. The last thing that you got on this list is the Apis fuzz. There's also really interesting names for, so congratulations to you on that.
Oh, well, thanks. Appreciate that. So yeah, the Apis is based on a Burns Buzz Around style fuzz, and it's actually quickly becoming kind of my favorite fuzz sound. So that particular enclosure that you can see it's got that wedge shape, really cool enclosure, and that one uses germanium transistors, and it does a lot of really cool sounds. I really love the tone control on it. It's kind of a weird mix between kind of half of a big muff control and it on one side it's the low pass filter, then the other side is just almost bypassing the tone control altogether, and it gets pretty intense. And so that one, I had only made maybe 10 of them at first, and my claim to fame with that one is that at 3:00 in the morning, Billy Corgan bought one of those from me.
Get out of here!
Yeah.
That's super cool.
I was sitting up watching TV and saw the Squarespace sale come through on the notification, and I clicked it. And I saw William Corgan, and I was like, "What?"
Oh, that's
and then
awesome.
I surely not. And then I looked at the email address, and it was the Madame Zuzu's tea shop or whatever it is in Chicago. There.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, all right. So I'll have to admit that I haven't listened to Pumpkins in a hot minute, but I definitely listened to the new record thinking like, oh man, is that it right there? Is that
yeah.
Of course, it's probably still sitting in a box somewhere, I'm sure. But
that's super cool though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Neato.
Yeah.
Okay, so these are the things that you're doing. You've handed out a few things that you're maybe coming in the future. Can you give us any kind of
Sure, yeah. So, I mean, the hardest part about doing all of this, and I'm sure most pedal builders, amp builders, guitar builders, pick guard makers can all attest to, is like branding is hard and sucks if you're not into it. It's like you need to hire somebody to do it at some point if you could ever afford it. But so like that's been part of my journey moving forward. It was like, what does Red River amplification look like? Between my guitar amps and the pedals, what does that aesthetic look like consistently? And kind of what I'm moving toward is, part of my day job, is preserving and protecting places that are special. And specifically, my training has been what's called cultural resources. So I'm trained as a historian, and that's what all my education is in. And so on the line of like the hexafoil, kind of bringing in a folklore element, educational aspects, some interpretation. I'm going to look to do that with some additional stuff coming up. So this next thing I've got coming up is a surprise, another drive pedal. But it's called the Aerial Phenomena. Okay. And it is an original design. So this is designed from the ground up. But of course, it's kind of like saying, oh, this is my original chocolate cake recipe. Well, there's only so many ways you can do that,
Right.
So this is a pedal that has around 45 dB output capabilities.
Whoa.
Runs internally off of 18 volts. I love the sound of transistors, and I like to see what we can do with transistors besides just fuzz. And so this is an exercise in that, and being able to go from a completely transparent clean to just on the verge of getting into gnarly fuzz territory, but everything in between. It has built-in low pass and high pass filters and clean in an overdrive mode, and then a switchable buffer inside.
This sounds fantastic. This sounds exactly like up my alley.
Oh, cool. I'll send you one of the demos when I get them put together. So in the graphics for that are actually the aerial phenomena comes from an 1825 letter that was written by a guy in the Red River Valley who witnessed a UFO. And he wrote about it and drew pictures of it and then sent it to Thomas Jefferson. And so I found that letter in some other, work-related research, and like, that's cool. So that is now the graphic of that pedal is the drawings that he made.
What did the spaceship look like?
He said they're these big prismatic discs that were hovering in the sky. Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I wonder if he was having sort of like a migraine headache or something.
Probably.
I mean, I've had, in all seriousness, I don't really get migraines, thank goodness. There's something else that happens. I can't remember what it is that causes this. But this happened a couple times in my life where I will just all of a sudden, like, I have prismatic color wheels in in both of my eyes where I'm just going. The first time it happened, I thought, I'm dying.
Sure. Yeah.
Because I was freaking out because I'm like, what is this? And they stayed there for better part of half an hour, and they just kind of slowly started to dissipate. But I was really freaked out. I'm like, am I having a brain aneurysm? Do I have got a tumor in my brain? What's going on? And apparently it's just some sort of like a stress reaction that when a fuse kind of, goes haywire. But I bet you that's what happened to that poor. And
absolutely could have been.
I would love, it'd be amazing if you were able to include the language of that original letter in the thing, because most people are like, I was just looking up there. There's a thing in the sky, and it's just, man, woke me up. I was trying to watch TV, but it's up there. And that guy probably, it sounds like Walt Whitman or something.
Yes.
Trying to do me.
This will actually have the narrative on the side of the pedal.
Yeah.
So,
Oh, that's cool. So what was TJ's response to this?
It's probably something in the weather. Was his response.
Yeah.
So. He's probably right, but it's fun to imagine.
At least he didn't say it was a weather balloon or something like that.
Chinese weather balloons, yeah.
Interesting.
But so that's kind of that's the thing I'm putting most.
It sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think it's going to be cool. And did a recent update on the hexafoil, a couple small things, and
what was the pretty in pink version of the hexafoil? I noticed there's an extra knob on there. What does that do?
So there was a fellow who contacted me about a year ago, and he does this like one-man shoegaze show that's like everything is pink, and want to know if I could do a hexafoil in pink and then add a couple options. And I'm like, sure, why not? And so as long as you're cool with me making like 5 of them to sell to other people, and so I did that. And so with that one, the biggest difference there is I added a booster on the front end of the circuit. So it was kind of like hitting the hexafoil with a single stage booster on the front end. And so it overdrives harder, and it actually takes it into high gain land pretty easily that way. Yeah.
Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah. That'll be featured
should do a show with
right.
Henry, with Starcrawler and Henry.
Yeah.
Oh, I love Starcrawler. They're great.
All in pink.
Everything pink.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, dude, this has been really fun and enlightening to learn about. I love that there's more behind these, and there usually is whenever we talk to people.
Sure.
But there's a lot more behind these, and I really appreciate you sharing them. And I'm encouraged by the places you want to go with these, and excited for what you've been talking about. Really cool.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys, reaching out and being interested. I mean, that's pedal world, y'all know more than anybody. I mean, there's a lot of people making pedals.
There are.
And
12 at my last count.
Yeah. Yeah.
and a lot of them are really, really good. So it's at least 11 of those 12 are really good. So.
Indeed. Well, keep it up. Keep us posted. And in the meantime, we got a little thing.
All right.
Yeah, it's a part of the show where we like to play a little game. And that game is this.
Is
Would
Jared
you
gonna
rather?
be on? Oh, it's not that game?
More digs.
Now you're gonna make him mad. He's gonna hang up on you.
Now I'm gonna have to sing this more emotional.
Okay.
Would you rather?
Very nice.
I miss
Yeah.
I
Slow
miss that.
tremolo.
I know.
I mean, I can't hold a candle to that.
No.
I mean, never.
Oscillating
He's a
tremolo
human
at the end of
Leslie.
the R. Yeah.
Okay, Tony. You have it,
I
right?
have the would you rather.
Excellent.
Jared, is it okay if I just go right through it?
Please do, my friend.
All right. So this week's would you rather, I worked long and hard on this one.
Yes.
Very much so. That's why we need Bruce Bacon to send some stuff.
I know, right?
Okay, so I'm sure pretty much everyone's heard about this guy that bought a $4,000 signed guitar from Taylor Swift and then proceeded to smash it in front of everyone. That's called, I believe it's More Money Than Sense, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I thought we would just kind of raise the stakes a little bit, you see. And,
All right.
with us,
I like where this is going. I like
money is no object.
Because you said steak.
it. Well,
First I
half
said
right, yeah.
First I said bacon. Now I said
He's like, this is the best ever.
and a stuffed baked
Yeah.
potato.
Yes.
So we're
Very
gonna
good.
raise it up a little bit, raise the bar. You got more money than you know what to do with anyhow,
Yeah.
and you don't care.
Yes.
So there are 2 signed guitars at the auction that you're visiting.
Okay.
And what has to happen is you can buy either of these
Jeff
2.
Tweedy, smash it. Oh,
What?
go ahead.
What? But you can buy these guitars, but you have to smash the guitar that
you
you
buy.
buy. And, the good news is you're going to be the last person to hold this guitar.
Right. You bought it. It's yours to smash.
Exactly. And you have to do it.
All right.
So, would you rather get Jimmy Page's number 1, which is a 59 Les Paul standard, buy it and smash it? Or would you rather get Billy Gibbons' Pearly Gates 1959 Les Paul standard?
I've actually worked on that. I mean, that's crazy.
Did you smash it?
No.
Oh, well.
Yes.
That's you guys. This is
Interesting.
insane.
I thought you were going to
is
do
insane.
like an old one and a new one.
No.
Like a
No, these are 2 1959 Les Paul standards.
I get it.
2 very famous
Like-
guitars.
like,
Have you ever heard of this guy, Jimmy Page, before?
Yeah, no,
and you've
I
probably
thought you were
heard
gonna
of
go with,
Billy
like,
Gibbons.
Kurt Hammett with the green or something like that.
No,
A modern player.
look right here.
Okay.
It's written right here. Do you
I
want to see
that.
it?
I see that
Okay.
from here.
Okay.
Okay, so you got to smash one.
You got to buy it and smash it.
Gotta buy it and smash it.
In front of the audience. Bye-bye. It's a bunch of pile of parts after you're done with it.
All right. Okay, this is going to be very controversial.
It might be.
All right, Tony, go ahead.
Well, I think, gosh, I mean, this is a tough decision because, I mean, I don't even care about the monetary value of these
Well, that's the whole
instruments.
point.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
Yeah.
It's. I think it has a lot to do with one, which of the guitars is used most frequently by these two players.
All right.
But let's just say they're going to just retire, and that's why they signed it and they're giving it to the auction.
Yes.
I'm going to do. Boy, both of them are very famous Les Paul standards.
Yes. And the crazy thing is, there's like many more that are also almost as equally as famous.
There are, and Joe Bonamassa owns most of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to do the Billy Gibbons Pearly Gates, buy it and smash it.
Buy it and smash it.
And I know nothing against Billy, but he also plays a lot of other different types of things.
Yeah.
And I think
Tons of them.
Jimmy tends to keep, a lot of respect for the guy.
Yeah.
He tends to play his Les Pauls here and there.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any fuzzy guitars.
No, it does not. Well, maybe. I don't know. All right. David, how about yourself?
I'm smashing Jimmy Page's guitar.
Why not?
Okay.
Why not?
Is that because you live in Nashville?
No, I think Billy Gibbons
There's an
is a cooler
unspoken
dude.
thing you can't do, Don't say no words known towards that man.
No, never trust a man without a beard.
Yeah.
Jared?
Oh, I've met Billy. I've had the guitar in my hands. I almost met Jimmy Page, and have not had his guitars in my hands. I've worked on projects regarding both those. This is insane.
You got to smash it.
Well, yeah. So I'm gonna let's just put this in perspective.
Page is your
You're
hero.
gonna smash
dude.
one of these guitars, and you're gonna be known for it publicly.
That is true.
Forever.
Nah.
I would rather be known for smashing Billy Gibbons' guitar than Jimmy Page's guitar,
Yeah.
because in a positive light. Well, actually, in a less negative light.
Well, if you did Jimmy's, he might put a pox upon you.
Yes.
That's possible, but Billy, I don't think he's going to care as much.
Fair.
He would, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to say any more about it.
Okay.
I just picked Billy, and I really wouldn't do it in real life. Just
Oh, that's a relief.
Woo!
even pretend. It hurts to say the words out loud and pretend.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's nuts. But yeah, Billy Gibbons, I'll
Toddle-
smash that thing to bits.
Toddles, what do you
Yeah,
think?
I'm gonna just smash Billy's because I how do I say this without like getting lots of rocks thrown at me? I just kind of don't care.
You know,
So I'm gonna
Say it.
smash that one.
say it.
I did.
Say it.
I just said it low. I would. I would want to maintain the history and the oneness of the one. That's what I
Okay.
would do.
All right, the oneness of the one.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awfully nice.
Yes.
So I guess we have David Island today. David,
Yeah.
you picked.
Well, David didn't get his Nashville card revoked over this. So that's
I think David cares less than all of us. To be honest. He just came out with it with.
I'm going to buy them both and smash both of them.
No preface. He just said it. Yeah.
yes.
Oh,
Well, that was a fun one there.
yeah, it's just,
Thank
you
you.
know, try to tie it in with the.
Bruce, save us. Bruce, you can hear me. I know you can. Send us better would you rathers.
Tony, you did a great job tonight. That was lovely. That was fantastic.
I don't like your attitude.
All right. We got a few people to thank, and then we got to say
Oh,
good night to
that is
our
true.
pal.
That is
David.
so true, because at this point of the show, there's a special group of people we love to thank. These are our executive producers.
Yeah.
That's right.
Now, an executive,
Before you even start that,
I'm
Tony,
okay. Yes,
if you will allow
Yes.
me,
please.
we do this every week, and I don't want it. It doesn't feel like it to us, and I hope it doesn't feel like to the listeners. But we're not just going through the motions.
No,
This is not the motions going through.
no.
We truly are so grateful for the help that keeps the show going. There are a lot of things that people don't understand about what it takes to do this. And we honestly, we could not do this without your help.
And Todd, by the way,
Yeah.
my rate is going up to $500 per episode.
Yeah,
Everybody join. Come on.
I know. Anyways, I just wanted to say
No,
that.
that's true, and that's true, and we have a little fun with it from time to time.
Yes.
and I, But anyhow,
Go ahead.
With that-
Proceed.
thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
So
The floor is yours.
Okay. So an executive producer, as Todd so eloquently put, makes the show possible. How do you become one? Head over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs and check out a couple different ways you can participate. Become a friend, a sponsor, a hero of the podcast.
Yeah.
Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts and opportunities to win wonderful, wonderful prize giveaways.
That's right.
But in addition to all that great stuff, there is one thing more.
With
And
great pleasure, I get to say this. You get to have your name read on the thing.
your name read on the thing. Thank you, Jared.
I've been doing a pretty good job of that.
You've
actually.
been. I have to decipher the words that come out of. Yeah, this is what I have to put up with.
Yeah.
Totally
Go ahead.
unprofessional. So, special thanks to these executive producers: John Sebastian, Trevor Ellenberg, Cameron Pampas, James Bell, Brett Hogarth, Gregory Randall, Don Kloss, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Rusty Sneeden, Vader and Pedals, John Helverson, Rick Calhoun, Trevor Gunberg, Islad Mizrahi. I do that every time.
I know.
I blend his name.
Elad Mizrahi.
Elad Mizrahi.
Yeah.
I'll do it right next time, I promise. Richard Kendall, James White, Justin Jones, John Esterly from Rare Buzzer Effects,
That's right.
Anthony Lathrop, Stefan Lamb, Michael Senchuk, Ken Sayers, Darren Gregory, Tom Brazen, Eric Marrow, and Plutone. Oh, and Sean.
Big shout out to Sean Atz. Had a great conversation with him, and appreciate that you're out there, man.
We love you.
Yeah.
But you know,
Great
Todd,
guy.
in addition to these executive producers, we have a special group of executive producers. These are our grand poobahs. These are the creme de la creme, the top of the heap, the A number ones. And they wear a fez upon their head
Indeed.
whilst listening to the podcast.
That's true.
So special thanks to these grand poobahs: Anthony Gemolero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Hex Matos. Or should I say Hex Matos?
There you go.
I'll do that one. That's better. James Pennington, John Williams, LSJ Music Company, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Paul Von Eppinger, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, Tyler Casey Rhines, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups.
Yes.
My
Zach,
guy.
we hope you're doing well out there, my friend.
We love you, Zach. And Pedro Vasquez.
Yes.
Pedro.
Agreed. Thank you guys so much. And also on the note of the patrons and stuff, Tony and I were talking about we're going to redo the sweatshirts. So
Sweatshirts.
we're going to make that happen. We don't know if we're going to do zips or proper hoodies. I'm going to send out a thing in Patreon to get your feedback on. And so there you go.
Can we do 2 zippers on the front?
I like that.
Yeah, like the old motorcycle.
Yeah, that's
zipper
right.
on
You
a
do
hoodie.
the crisscross.
I need 2 anyway.
Oh, would that be? We should do that.
No, we shouldn't.
Oh, come on. Like a motorcycle jacket zip
No.
Michael
hoodie.
Jackson, Michael Jackson zip.
No. Okay, David, thank you so much for joining us. I know
thanks
you're
for having
looking
me.
for the exit right now.
Help me. Help me.
Yeah. Yes. It was an absolute pleasure talking with you. You seem like an absolute champ of a human, and we're glad
you.
to know you. And the door is always open to you, okay?
Yes.
Wonderful. Thanks so much.
Where can people go get these awesome pedals of yours?
The easiest place, hit up my Instagram. It's Red River Amplification. It's got all my links there. You can go to my website, which is redriveramplification.com. However, I don't post everything that I build on the website because sometimes it's just one-offs or 5 of something, and I'll put that on Instagram first. Hit me up one of those places, or you can email me at info@redriveramplification.com if you just want to chat.
Sounds good. Tony.
Head over to pickguardian.com. Check out some of the things that I do. What do? I make custom pick guards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do, what colors, all the fun stuff. I'll have some good advice for you.
If you want to be like Joe Bonamassa or Henry Cash,
That's right.
2 of your wall of fame.
2. I've got 2 of them.
Yeah,
up
you
there.
got a whole lot more. You know that.
1 or 2. But Todd,
What?
it's your opportunity to make your
No, it's your-
guitar
it's your
even
chance.
more.
It's your chance.
It's your chance.
How does this happen?
Can you give me a cue card? Come on. It's your chance to make your guitar even more yours.
That's right. Jared.
Jared.allen.brandon on Insta. Send me a message. Ask me about pickups, or if you just want to ask me where the hell I've been, that's cool. Send me a message.
Sounds good. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram at Guitar Knobs. We would love to hear from you. Please send us a Would You Rather if you think you can best the Tony on this one. If you're interested in all the Patreon stuff, head over to Patreon like we said. I think it's about it. I'm running low. Running on empty. All right. Have a fantastic Guitar Week, everybody, and subscribe.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't drink this crap.
I haven't put the new ones in there yet.
Oh, dear.
Unless you want a warm one.
I
John
can't-
might have a couple in the fridge. Why don't you
That's
go look?
all right.
Go look. It's not going to hurt you to get up and walk.
Yeah.
Yeah, corn dogs for legs.
Yeah, I'm at the shop, so I probably shouldn't drink when I'm handling high voltage stuff. So
Yeah.
I don't want the box.
There's nothing in there.
Just got scared. Just health stuff. Blood pressure pills. All that kind of thing. Better.
Jared's blood pressure pills are the size of Twinkies.
Yeah, so it's
Billy left a bottle of absinthe here, full in the tin.
Oh.
I like absinthe.
Absinthe makes the heart grow fonder.
Yes, it certainly does.
healthy, good old water from the fridge.
Jared's having water soup and barbecued water and
That's right.
baked water and
6 foot, and I'm short for my height.
My mom, I would tell Mom, I'm hungry. She'd say, drink water and pretend it's chicken.
because your
Eat all
brothers
the
are all
food
pretty
up.
big too. Huh? David, if you don't know, look at a doorway and then put 2 googly eyes above it. That's about what you're looking at.
Well, we were also
Kind of like the Cookie Monster.
I have a friend named Taylor, and he goes by Cook. It's Koch.
Why does he pronounce it Taylor?
You like to compare yourself to
6'8", 370.
No, I'm probably 340 something now.
Yeah,
6'6"?
6'8".
Yeah.
No, he's 6'6".
When he straightens up, he's 6'8".
I actually just put an 85-inch in my living room.
Yeah, but Jared, your couch is only like 6 feet away from the wall.
Yeah. I don't know.
You're gonna look like the sloth in Ice Age with the eyes on the side.
I already do.
We actually had a podcast last night, an impromptu one, because our friend Henry.
Hello?
Oh,
Sorry, that was me.
fall out of the high chair.
Yay!
And away we go. Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.